Hi, my name is Nate Whitaker and I'm an attorney at the Franchise and Business Law Group, and today we're going to be talking about gun trusts. So we should probably start off with what is a trust. And a trust is simply a legal vehicle in which a grantor creates a fiduciary relationship and appoints a trustee to handle, direct, and use trust property for a beneficiary. And so what's a gun trust? So a gun trust is the same type of legal structure, except it's primarily formed to handle NFA firearms and other sorts of weapons. So what is an NFA firearm? An NFA firearm is a specific type of weapon that has been defined by federal law, and some common types of NFA firearms are fully automatic rifles and pistols, short-barreled rifles, silencers or suppressors. And these are things that we help our clients to own and acquire through the trust. So federal law allows the trust, a gun trust, to be the actual owner of these types of NFA items. And for common firearms, simple handguns, rifles, these are easily transferable. They're often regulated by state law, and most people don't need a gun trust to own these types of weapons. But for NFA items, if an individual or a trust or a corporation cannot own an NFA firearm unless it's been registered through a complex process that takes money and time in order to register. And so what are some benefits of owning these items through a gun trust? So an individual can own an NFA firearm. They have to register those firearms, like I mentioned. They have to be fingerprinted. They have to notify their chief law enforcement officer that they will be purchasing these items. They have to go through an extensive background check, and once they become the owner of those items, they can't be transferred very easily without going through that same process to transfer them to another party. And so a gun trust allows the owner of those firearms to be the actual trust, like I mentioned, and multiple trustees or co-trustees within the trust can own and use those weapons. And the benefit of that is a practical benefit that if the trust is owned kind of within a family unit, family members will be less prone to violate federal law by owning these NFA items. So one of the common reasons for owning the trust is ownership and control of the items. If a family member is listed as a co-trustee on the trust, they can own and use those NFA items without having it be a transfer. Under federal law, a non-registered person cannot own an NFA item. And so this allows the original grantor to set up this structure to allow ease of use and ownership between parties. One other common reason for setting up a trust is for estate planning purposes. The NFA items do not have to go through probate if the grantor of the trust was to pass away. So those items will remain in the trust, those NFA items will remain in the trust, and a grantor can appoint his or her family members or friends even as co-trustees of the trust. Another common purpose for setting up a gun trust is incapacity. If the grantor or another trustee on the trust were to be incapacitated, not necessarily pass away, but just fall into a situation in which they can't legally own those NFA items, another co-trustee could easily come in and take possession or use and properly handle those NFA items. And so there are a lot of reasons to own the trust and to create a trust to own these NFA items. So these are some common reasons and benefits to set up a gun trust. Call us at the Franchise and Business Law Group and we can help you through these issues.